Nolan, good to see you. We're going to talk about annuities and whether they are the right fit for your financial plan. Annuity sales set new records in 2024. In the first 9 months of the year, we saw a 23% increase to 331.2 billion. LIMRA, which tracks the numbers, expects annuity sales to exceed 1.1 trillion from 2022 through 24. So clearly they're popular. Why do people have such a love-hate relationship with annuities?
That's a great place to start.
Yeah.
Annuities, I think, are a product, and like any product, there's always going to be opinions. I think the opinions that a lot of people have are just based on their own experiences. So some people have very, very good experiences with annuities, where maybe they had a parent or grandparent or a relative purchase one that was relatively low cost or low risk or had a lot of guarantees or something. Or maybe they had a relative who had an overly risky annuity and wasn't sure what they were getting into, and it was pretty fee intense. So I think the love-hate relationship comes a little bit more in the, number one, understanding of the product that you have, and then number two, just executing the contract appropriately. So yeah, a lot of varying opinions, but it's because they're so complicated and there are so many different products. So
Right. Right. So let's talk through, though, this recent uptick that we've seen in annuity sales. Interest rates have been very high, which makes annuities more attractive. But now that the Fed is lowering interest rates, are annuities still a good investment?
yeah, I think in some cases they can be. The attractiveness of them, of course, goes down if interest rates begin coming down. Annuity rates, annuity guarantees are typically linked up with whatever the federal government's paying in interest rates. And it's because the annuity actuaries know that they can risk X dollars and get a guaranteed return from a government bond. So that's the way their books essentially work. Now, with rates coming down, we're starting to see some fixed and some indexed annuities. The interest rates on those really start to plummet when interest rates come down from the federal government. But some variable annuities, rates don't really get affected by actions like that. So I think that annuities can be a good investment. It just depends on which one that you want and what you're willing really to risk.
Right. And so you started mentioning a couple different kinds. Walk me through, please, the different kinds of annuities.
Sure. So there are three main types of annuities. Now, a lot of people think IRA, Roth IRA, non-qualified account, but we take a different approach when explaining annuities. Annuities are linked into three really risk classifications, with fixed being the most conservative and variable being the most aggressive. Fixed annuities are much more like a CD in their conservative nature, where they pay you a fixed interest rate over a stated time period. Maybe that's 3 years, 5 years, 7 years, but you get a guaranteed rate of return. And a variable annuity is actually owning investments within the account. And I like to go to that risky side next when explaining this, because this is much more familiar to like your 401k or IRA or, anything that you actually have mutual funds in. A variable annuity is pretty high risk in that it has investments in them that are a little bit riskier, and they are a little bit more expensive. So the fees are a little bit higher in variable annuities, which also adds to the risk. It means your investments need to perform better to overcome these hurdles. And then smack dab right in the middle are those indexed annuities. And these ones pay you some rate of return that's based on the value of a stock market index, which means if the market goes up, you'll go up a percentage as much as the market goes up. But if the market goes down, you don't lose any money. That's the way an indexed annuity works. So it's somewhere in the middle of a no risk investment and a higher risk investment. And you can obviously see that there's a lot of gradient in between, and some obviously that would be more complicated or more risky based on whatever approach you use.
When I was researching this topic, Nolan, one question that I kept finding across message boards when people are trying to figure out if they're right for them was, how are they taxed?
Annuities have a pretty unique taxation when you are talking about non-retirement accounts. So with all retirement accounts, pre-tax and Roth IRAs, the tax rules are going to stay the same with an annuity. So if it's a pre-tax traditional IRA, the money's taxed when you take money out. If it's a Roth IRA, then it's taxed when it goes in. So it's not taxed upon withdrawal. If you have money that's just sitting in the bank, like in a savings account, and you go put, let's say, $50,000 into an an annuity and you start earning interest on that annuity, you don't pay tax on that interest until the money's out of the annuity contract. Now, you can defer those taxes as long as it's in an annuity. And if at the end of 5 years or 10 years, you just decide to pick a new one, you defer the taxes even further by having it in a new annuity contract.
I see.
So that's where the unique tax advantage comes in. If you have a lot of what's called non-qualified money or non-retirement account money, it's still a way to get very nice tax deferred growth on your accounts and really control when you pay the taxes on the distributions. Yeah, pretty neat.
Well, clearly it comes down to talking through which one is right for you, your goals, and your financial plan. So Nolan, if somebody would like to see if annuities should be a part of their plan, what's the best way to reach you?
So they could call us at 616-301-2581. And then extension 1 is for wealth management. And we're the ones that deal primarily with the annuity business. Or you could go to cornerstone-rp.com. And there's a contact us box at the bottom of the homepage there. You can ask questions there too.
Great. Nolan, thank you.
Thanks, Erin.